everyone, welcome to Lovella's Coloring. For this video I want to color something for Valentine's Day, so you can color along with me if you have this book, or just color your own and hang out with me. So the book I'll be coloring in is Selina Fenech's Fairies and Fantasy Super Coloring Collection. And this book, I don't know if it's available on Amazon. I am a subscriber to her email to get updates and stuff, and she offered this book, which consists of is it Fairy Magic, Fairy Coloring Book, and Fairy Art Coloring Book. So the image I'm going to be coloring, I don't know from which book it came from, so yeah, because I don't have any of these books, only this one. So I'll go ahead and show you what page I'll be coloring in. So this is the page with the two fairies and love. So yeah, I thought this would be perfect for Valentine's Day, and also I haven't colored anything in this book, so I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to go ahead and clamp these up so it doesn't keep popping, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I have everything, the sides clamped, and I'll go ahead and start off by telling you what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be starting with a background, and I'm going to be using the Mungyo soft pastels. So I already picked out the colors. Oops. Will be these two. It's the lightest pink I can find and the darkest pink, which kind of looks like hot pink, but it's okay. So this is what I'm going to use for the background. The dark ones are going to go in the bottom and the top, and then the light one right in the middle. And the other tools I'm going to be using is baby wipes, which I use for my hands to clean afterwards. And I'll also be using cotton balls and Q-tips. And after I'm done with the pastels, I will pause the video and go ahead and spray it with a fixative, and then I'm also going to clean out my desk with the Clorox disinfectant wipes, just to make sure, you know, I hate the transfer of like residues from pencils and stuff and pastels onto other coloring books. So yeah, so that's why I always have wipes on my table. I don't use the whole cloth, I always cut it up into little pieces. So anyways, okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with the lightest pastel. And I forgot, I also use an X-Acto knife. This is the first time I'm using this. I usually just get the cotton ball and rub it and apply it into the paper, but this time I'm going to see how it goes with using the X-Acto knife to just scrape off a bit of the soft pastel. That there. Okay, so I'm just going to go right along the middle. Keep forgetting not to touch the paper because my hands are a little bit, I don't know if it's wetty, but it leaves a residue, and if you keep touching the paper, you can see little fingerprints. So I'm going to try to not touch it. I'm going to leave the middle alone. I'm just going to use the Q-tips. So just go ahead over here. And also try not to lean in too close. It's not really good to accidentally inhale this. And I'll be using a Derwent eraser to erase anything that's within the image. Just so, because I'm going to be also using markers and then pencils on top. Okay, I think that's good enough. So I'm using a fresh new Q-tips, and then the other one that I use for testing, I'm going to use this for the darker one. So I'll go ahead and start smoothing it. So I'm going to have to go back and add more. Just make sure I press this down. What I'm trying to avoid while applying it with the cotton ball is I don't want to see the streaks, so I'm just trying to apply it as evenly as I could. And it's okay if it looks like cloud, you know, like little puffy clouds too. That's a good effect, but I'm gonna probably apply a little bit more. Just to darken the pink. So there you go. What are your plans for Valentine's Day? We don't, we celebrate Valentine's Day here, but it's just that we've been snowed in our house. Not really snowed in, we just, you know, if we don't really have to venture outside to get groceries or anything, because I did like a major grocery haul during the week before our winter storm of snow. So yeah, so we just haven't been able to go out, and so I don't know what we're gonna do for Valentine's Day. Probably just make the most of it. So but the thing I'm worried about is about the school, my son's school. He hasn't been in school since Thursday, I believe, and Thursday or Friday, but they didn't get any list of names of their classmates that they usually get, so they can give out Valentine's Day card, which is also another problem because I didn't get any Valentine's Day card for my son. We were planning to go this weekend, but I totally forgot about it. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I might, if he does go to school tomorrow, then we're just gonna have to make a run to Target to grab some Valentine's Day cards. Yeah. Yeah, so we've been having snow here since last week. So the kids last week didn't have school Monday, and then it started snowing again towards the end of the week. And so today and yesterday they didn't have school, which they don't mind, but I'm just like, well, when you go back to school, you're gonna have a lot of homework, which is too bad. They don't have well, they do where they put their assignments online, but like my son's teacher, my son's in a venture program where he's in a class with both fourth grade and fifth graders learning fifth grade stuff. He's a fourth grader, and the amount of homework he gets now is, I'm worried if he's going to, if the homework's going to be piled up for them. So, okay. And in case you guys are wondering, I never really said where I'm from. I'm from Washington State. I don't know if I should say the town I live in, but probably the closest one you probably recognize if you live in the Pacific Northwest, or if you're in the military, if you know Bremerton, the Bremerton area, which is like right across from Seattle, or on the other side of the waters, the Puget Sound. So I live over here on this side, and yeah, I've lived here for, in this house I've lived here for almost 10 years. Yeah, but I've lived in Washington since 2012. My dad was stationed here, and then they didn't like the cold, so they moved back down to California. But I loved it here in Washington, so I moved back like in 1997. So I ended up staying here, made my home here in Washington. Okay, so that's good. It's good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and get a Q-tip and work in the middle spaces really quick. I'm just gonna be rubbing the Q-tip on here and applying it to the background. So with our weather, us being stuck in our house, we only have 2 ways out of our neighborhood, but both ways you have to climb up a you have to climb up a hill, and I live in a cul-de-sac, so it's 1 way out of our cul-de-sac, and then we have 2 ways to go up our hill. But unless if you have snow tires or chains, you're pretty much stuck staying. Our mail carrier won't even drive down our neighborhood to deliver our mail. I actually have 2 packages that were supposed to arrive, and they're not able to deliver it because they can't drive down our hill. I'm kind of sad about that, but I just have to be a little more patient. I'm just hoping that they don't accidentally misplace my packages, because I'll end up crying. Oh no, I'll just be sad, upset about it. But yeah, just adding a little more where I think I missed some spots. Here. Okay, almost done, just filling up the little holes here and there. I hope it doesn't look streaky. Okay. Looks like there's some here that it's just a little white. Okay. Okay. I don't want it to look like I'm avoiding the edges around their wings, around the O. Even though I am, but I don't want to, because I'm going to use the eraser to erase the inside part of the image. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and come in with the dark pink. So I'm going to go down here and up here. Oops. Sorry, quiet. I'm concentrating on where I'm shaving the soft pastel. So I'll go up here. Oops, too much there. There you go. And I'm hoping this coloring will be a little faster. Try to keep it at 30, at least 30, 45 minutes, and then I will probably do a part 2. Okay. So I'm going to use another cotton ball and just go in circles. Try to get an even distribution of the darker pink. Try not to make, so you can see I made like little streaks there. Try to gently push it down into the paper. It's okay to lift it up a little bit into the above. Kind of like making a gradient. This one is coming up hard. I wonder if that's where my fingers were earlier. Okay. So do you guys like using pastels? I actually got these pastels like 3 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago. But yeah, just pretty much just to do backgrounds, because you know those open spaces, I don't know, it just feels like they might need it just needs to be filled in, but it'd be so much easier if I didn't feel that way, so I can just color it and be done, you know, just color the main image. But yeah, you can see where it's darker. That's probably where I was holding down the page. That's okay. I'm gonna go up here. I'm just gonna work down here and just bring it. Trying to make it even going across, so it's not like going in an angle or anything. So as close as I can to going straight across. Just a little bit. I can. I don't think I can. So it kind of looks cloudy, like pink clouds, pink cotton candy clouds. So with the soft pastels, it's easier to work with the lighter shade than go dark, because it's, you know, you can't erase it or anything. So yeah, so I'm just gonna smooth it out. Oops, sorry. Let's see where. I'm going to add just a little bit more here. And a little bit here. Oops. Yeah, so what kind of fixatives do you guys use? I left mine in the garage, so I had to go. I forgot what brand it was. I think it says Krylon or something like that. But I haven't used hairspray. Only because I don't use hairspray. So I don't have any in the house. Good. Just gonna work these in, just to even out the. And I'm not minding the little, like, patchy whites. I kind of like that effect, so. So there we go. Looks good. And any other little bits, I'm just gonna work it into the paper. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and erase what's inside the image, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've erased all the soft pastel that are inside the image. I did miss a couple parts, but it's okay. And then after I erased it, I sprayed fixative. And I did this outside in my backyard, and then let it sit for a bit to dry out. And then and while that was sitting outside drying, I cleaned up my area. I have a small hand vacuum that I pick up all the eraser bits, and then wipe down my table mat, just, you know, just to get any kind of residue that might be left by the soft pastel. I did use wipes to wipe it down, so hopefully that, you know, everything's clean. The only reason I do that's because where I am coloring, it's in my sitting room in my bedroom, and my son sleeps right by my desk, so I just want to make sure that everything is clean, and, you know, he doesn't get into it or anything. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and color in the word love, and I'm gonna be using the Lemouche twin marker, and the color is the number 4. Sorry, let's see if I can. Number 4, vivid red. Let me see if I can show you which one. So here's my chart. Oops, wrong way. Okay, here. So it's gonna be this color red, and if you've seen my color supply video, you'll see that the where I swatched this in is in one of the Create Space paper. So Selina Fenech's books are also printed out of the Create Space paper. So the color of the red should look similar to what I have on my swatch chart, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I know I cannot get that out. So I'll go ahead and start coloring that in, and I think I'll use the chisel tip. So wish me good luck that my pen doesn't run out, because that's my one big fear with using markers, is that, oops, that it's going to, what is that, run out like in the middle of coloring. And thank goodness this is bolder lines, so I don't have to worry too much about getting out of the lines. And I don't know if I've ever said this in one of my videos. I might have said it, but then I might have like taken it out because I was trying to fast forward or what. But I haven't been using markers for that long, just since last year. And yeah, I don't have that much markers right now, but you know, I have a lot on my wish list that I want to buy. So I'll just be slowly accumulating it, I think. But yeah, one of the reasons I'm starting with the markers now, it was just last year that I started using markers a lot, is because of all the books that come in with Create Space paper. I love a lot of the images, but I'm going to use the fine point, the fine end. But I love a lot of the images, but I hated using or coloring on Create Space paper, not because I won't get the results I want. It's because just coloring colored pencils, it really kills my hands. My wrist starts hurting, my hands start hurting, even if I'm using Prismacolor, only because I would end up burnishing the colors just so I don't have to see the white spots. So finding out about using markers on Create Space paper, yeah, it's just, it takes the load off of your hands and your wrists, and you won't see the whites. I won't be so worried about it anymore. And yeah, and it makes the coloring go faster too. So just make sure I'm coloring the right areas. And you know what? I'm going to have to pause right now and make sure I put my paper underneath, or else I'll just be marking my cutting board. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a cardstock underneath. And go ahead and get started again. So go ahead and use, I don't know, I kind of like using the bullet nib. Okay, just making sure I was recording. What are you guys coloring now? Are you coloring something for not Halloween, for Valentine's Day? I'm using this picture for a couple of color alongs too, so just Yeah, so there's a couple color alongs on Facebook and a lot of color alongs from Instagram. Do you guys use or participate in color alongs, either on Facebook or on Instagram? I like to do color alongs because it helps me pick the books to color, because you know, when you have a lot of books, it's hard to just pick one to color. Because I want to color them all, but you know, I can't. I can only color one, and I don't want to have too many whips, only because I'll probably forget about it, and it's, I don't know, it's better for me to try to stick to one and complete. I do have whips that I have for like my year-long whip that I'm planning to end, or not end, but finish by December or Christmas time. But other than that, I don't really, I try not to have any whips, because I'll just, yeah, it'll just be forgotten. Wonder if, oops, that's just dark space. Right in between their hair. I'll just make it as dark. So I'll go on with the V and the E. Earlier I was talking about how my children hasn't had school for the past 2 days, so that's Monday and Tuesday. I just got another call while I was waiting for my page to dry, that Wednesday's classes are also canceled due to poor driving conditions, road conditions and stuff. So, which is good, because I don't know, I'd rather not drive, because I drive all my kids, well, except for my youngest. He's only 2, so he's just with me if I'm driving. So I drive my 10-year-old. Usually I drop him off at the bus stop and wait for the bus with him, but that's still going up the hill. That, you know, there's icy patches. That's always there every time it gets really cold. So I hate trying to maneuver around that one. And then with the added snow, yeah, it's kind of dangerous, and probably get stuck halfway up the hill. And my youngest daughter, who's a sophomore in high school, I have to drive her to her high school, because the bus doesn't pick up in our area for her high school, only because it's in not a different district, but in the neighborhood line doesn't reach us. She was supposed to go to a different high school, but her older sister wanted to go to the current high school. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but rather than have them both be in 2 separate high schools, I enrolled them both in one high school, so I only have to drive in one area. So the love is done. I'm gonna go with the rose. Okay, so for the rose, I am going to use another Lemon Shade twin marker, and the color is Pink Rose, and I'll show you what it looks like. So Pink Rose is like this one, which is kind of a muted pink. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and color that one in. And so, yeah, so my youngest daughter, I would have to drive her there. And then my oldest daughter, she's doing a running start program at the community college. So I would have to drive her all the way to the next town, to the community college, which is about, depending on traffic, 25-minute drive. And yeah, so I don't want to drive in the snowy conditions. No, not for my sake, but for other cars. You know, you can't control other cars when they're driving. You can't control your car if you were to spin or, you know, go out of control. I mean, you can always know what to do, but at that moment, you know, when you panic, it's different for people. You know, will they freeze up? Will I freeze up? You know, it's, yeah, I don't know what would happen at that moment. So what I'm going to do for this video is I'm just going to lay all the markers down, and then for the second part I will be doing pencil work on top of the markers. Yeah, so I hope I can have this done by Valentine's Day, or at the latest, just make that pink, at the latest at Valentine's Day. I'll have both of them up. Okay, so I'm gonna go, I think this is her feet, and I'll show you what colors. I haven't picked a color for her hair yet. Hold on. Okay, for her outfit, I'm going to be using the Lemon Shade Twin Marker, the number 175 Lime Green, and the color of this one is, it's right over here. It's kind of like a brighter shade of olive green. Yeah, does that think? Yeah. Okay, so I'll go ahead and color the foot and her outfit, parts of her outfit. And if you hear my kids screaming, I'm sorry. They're all home, so you might hear some screaming, either from my daughters or my youngest. Sometimes they like to all yell together, which is why I'm glad I'm upstairs, away from the noise. I even locked the door and put a note up saying I'm recording, just so they know not to bother mommy. Sometimes it works. Okay. It's okay if I go over the strings a little bit. I'm going to be coloring that a darker green. Just get in the middle there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on the lines. It's getting really tight in here, so. Yeah, I'll just color over that. So I'm going to be coloring over it. And then I'm going to leave this little wispy part of her skirt to be the same color as her wings. And okay, here's her body. I couldn't see where it was, so I think just that little part. Okay, I'm just gonna color that whole thing. So, try not to get his hands. Okay. I get scared that I might not have, might not have pressed the record button, so it's on. So I colored this also the same shade as her wings. So just to finish up the girl, and I'll finish up the boy. I'll color her wings and her skirt, and that's going to be a lighter shade, which is also the Lemon Shade Twin Marker. And the color is number 166. Oops, sorry here. Number 166, Minonet, I'm guessing is how you say it. And it looks like right over here. It's like a really pale sage green. So go ahead and, is that all her skirt? I'm just gonna make it all her skirt. Okay. So I should talk about what other hobbies do you guys do besides coloring? I like to read. I still read. I have Kindle Unlimited, so I try to read at least 6 books a month. Doesn't have to be all at once, just as long as I read at least 6 of them, just to make it worth it to get the Kindle Unlimited. There's always something I can read to, and my reading is also the same as my coloring books, where I don't really have a general like it's not just profiles of women, or just like architect, or just food, or I'm kind of all over the place. If I like the illustration, I'm getting it, you know. I love it. It's done. And with books, they're all pretty much romance books. I love reading romance books, but I don't classify it to just one kind of like contemporary or just historical. I read all of them. And as long as I enjoy it, I read it. And the way I keep up with it is I rate it and date it on Goodreads. So this year, if you go on Goodreads, you'd know about how you can give yourself, I forgot what the word is, but where you give yourself a goal of how many books you're going to read for the year. So mine is 100, but that's the same amount as I did last year, and I ended up having to add more, so I put it up to 150, because by the time I think August or September came around, I've already read 100 books. So yeah, So I might do that again this year, but you know, with my coloring and a lot of stuff going around that's happening this year, I'm not sure if I'll get done with 100, but if I do, I can always add more to my goal. So next I'm gonna go color the ribbon along her outfit, and I'm gonna be using it's kind of like an dark olive green. Let me see, did I write it on a paper? I did. Hold on. It's kind of small. Right, there you go. So it kind of looks like it matches the color of the caps. Okay, so where is it? Right here. Oh, just a tip with when you spray fixative, try to do it before you add any markers or any gel pens, only because, especially if you have a two-sided book, or where there's an image on each side, if you spray fixative on top, it will bleed through, because I had that happen to me, and I forgot to color that little section there. Yeah, so better to, after you do your pastel work, spray it up, let it dry, and then come back with the rest. On this one I won't have to worry because it's a single-sided paper or image. I'll go down here, up here I mean. I'm sideways, so I'm not blocking the light and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm trying to I think I'll probably use like a glitter pen or stickles maybe for the little buttons, but for this one, these little, I don't know what you call these things, like little embroidery thingies in the edges. I'm just dotting it, so because I can't. They're like little rounded areas, so I'm just like dot it there. Okay. So for the girl, her skin, I will be using the Touch New markers, and the color is number 36 cream. So it's juicy. Okay, I'll just go up to the line so I can just continue. So I really like this Touch New marker. So the colors, I mean, kind of have the same colors on the lemon shade, but I don't know, these are like different. A little different, even though the names are the same. The what is it? The shades are slightly different. The Touch News actually lighter than the Lemouche marker of the same name and number. Oh, right here. I hate it when I almost forget a spot. I always do that though. There's always one small area that I miss. Okay, the skin is done. The next one is her hair, and I'm going to be coloring it rose beige, and this is a Lemouche marker. So rose beige, and the color of the hair is like this one. Start at the bottom here. I was thinking if I should do it like a whimsical color like purple or whatever, but I already have reds and pinks, so I wanted those to stand out, and I'm just gonna let their skin and hair color be like natural, normal colors. So if you're following along, if you're using the same colors or using your own, I'd like to see it. So I usually leave my email in the description, so you can always email it to me, or if you follow me on Instagram, you can direct message me there too. So yeah. And she is done. Her lips, I'll probably just use pencils to fill it in. Okay, so for the guy, I'll go ahead and start with his wings. And his wings, I'm going to be making it. This is Touch New marker, and that one is rubbing off. So this end is number 109 Pearl White. And I'll most likely at the end, probably in part 2, glittering up their wings. So, okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the chisel end. Put the cover. Doesn't want to go on. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to decide what color his wings were going to be, but I decided with the pearl white because this one looks like it has like a tinge of green, but the color I'm going to be making his outfit is brown and green too. So yeah, so I just want the colors to at least match and be a bit cohesive with each other. Well, I try to. I don't know. It depends on how it'll end, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and change it to the bullet nibs. Get this in. And here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and color his skin. And his skin, I'll put this away. His skin is going to be 132 Milky White. And this is also the touch nail. Let's start with his hands. There. I forgot if I was talking about something earlier. Cannot remember. It's okay. My memory is getting really bad. That's why I always have to write things down in my journals and notebooks, calendar. I'm trying to get used to using the calendar. I'm just really bad at like bullet journals and stuff, so just trying to, you know, slowly get used to writing reminders for myself, especially for my kids, because with their activities, I don't want to forget, like when they have field trips, or like when both of my daughters had what is that called, a retreat for church, and I forgot to write down, and what is it, yeah, and I just remembered like 2 days before they had to leave and get their stuff together for that. So yeah, I'm just trying to be organized, since I'm forgetting stuff easily. Anyways, okay, so I'm done with the skin, and his hair is going to be yellow, and I picked the color number 164 Anise, and this is from the Le Méché markers. So, oh, now I remember. I think I was talking about books. What kind of books? Oh, hobbies. Totally forgot about it. Okay, so yeah, so other than reading, I used to do crochet, and I still do. I have a project that I'm still working on, and so I do that, and I do knitting also, but I'm still a beginner at knitting. And yeah, that's pretty much my hobbies. And then coloring. Yeah, I think I'm done with the hobbies. You know, reading and coloring is the one I do the most, and then the good side hobbies also is the crochet and knitting. So next I'm gonna color his shirt green, and then the rest is going to be a tan color, like leather. So the green, I'm using the Bic marking pens, and this is the color Meadow Green. So go ahead and color this part green. Try to be careful. I'm sorry, I'm quiet right now. Trying to get it without going too far on the line, because the lines are thinner here. And do I want that part? No, I'm gonna leave that. But I'm gonna go this small little part. I think is her leg. And I think her leg should be somewhere here, right? Or it's just like appearing somewhere. So I'm gonna come and draw her leg in. So I'm just using a regular Sharpie and ultra fine point, and her leg is right here. Just gonna draw a line there. And the one I used was a lime green. So I'm gonna go in and this small section right here and right here. Okay, so the green is done. And now for the rest of the outfit, I'm also using a big marking pen. And the color is Tiki Hut Tan. I'm going to start in the bottom here. Okay. There. Make sure I don't miss any spots. Right. So I wanted them kind of matching, but like different shades. I'm just going to color over the buttons. It's too hard to try to go around them. And then I'm just going to use like a stickle. Maybe a stickle or a glitter pen. Or maybe a metallic marker. Or brush pen to fill that in. Accidentally going. It's okay. It's hard because it's like the nib, I'm not used to it. So okay. So I wrote all the colors down in my coloring diary. So if you guys want to know what colors I'm using, I can let you know. It's like, where does hand go? Okay, oh wait, one more. See, I'm getting important. Okay, so it's done. Well, not done. This is just the base layer for me. Go ahead and zoom you in a little. How does it look? Okay, so I'll go ahead and end it right here, and then my part 2, we're gonna start using pencils to go over it, and yeah, I think we're done. Thank you all for joining me on this little Valentine's Day color along. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be coming back for part 2. Now hopefully we'll have it out by tomorrow the 13th or by Valentine's Day. So yeah, so like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. So I'll see you guys later. Take care, happy coloring, and bye-bye.